Oh yeah, we live. So you already know what that means. You already know. Let's go. Let's get it going. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Thank and I get paid for every step. Come on. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Come on through. We got another one, of course. But that was one of my best tricks. I came back in the next trick. Did it go back? Did it come back? Did it see that? Did it see that? Second, everything. Huh. I didn't. That. Come on. Come on. Second line. Baby. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Second sister, blood up, living like a world song. Come on. It's a nerve full of. Yeah, got it on me, but I ain't serving you. Come on. I talked to it just to turn around and finish our pad. Now, past like 30 love. Come on. Brad just turn around. Dead life. No. Come on, y'all. Come on in here. Where y'all at? Hey. You all up at the spend it up to live like that. Come on. Keep your mind off some bitches. I think it you that. Come on now. Everything in the game. Uh-huh. So, and what nobody don't have dog. Come on. Uh. And like, feeling like I'm trying to escape. Come on. But I couldn't see the other way. But you know about it. Uh-huh. Yes, sir. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. Come on. Hey. Come on. You can call up and get the play that or something like that. Come on. Yes, sir. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Hotep History Live. I am your host with the most, President Hotep Dudes, reporting live from Hotep Nation. Hotep to all my Hoteps. Listen, we are at episode 50, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for them. Let's hear it for them. Episode 50. You dig? We are here. Okay, 50 episodes strong. I am extremely proud of myself. That means we are making great headway. Shout out to me. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that rock with Hotep History. Everybody. Excluding nobody. Look what I embodied. You understand? You guys have been rocking with me for the longest of times. You feel me? And I just want to say thank you guys as always. Thank you to everybody. And I mean everybody who show love to Hotep History, man. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart to the top. Okay? I'm going to keep doing it. Not only am I doing it for myself because I love to yap about the ancestors, I also want to, keep doing it for you guys, giving you guys this information, giving you guys, direct correspondence, you know what I'm saying, with the ancestors, being an intermediary between the two, encouraging you guys to tap into those primary sources that I talk about all of the time, encouraging you guys to really understand, the mindset, the behaviors, the thought processes of the ancestors, because I'm telling you, the more and more you realize that they did all of this stuff for your betterment, I think you guys would have even that much more confidence, that much more motivation, that much more inspiration to be able to make things happen. I'm not gonna hold you. And yeah. So I hope you guys are, strapped in, ready to work, ready to do the damn thing when it comes to Hotep history, because we here, man. We here. 50 episodes. And like, honestly, I tell y'all all of the time when I'm on these streams and all of that, like, I don't even notice the time flying, yo. We be getting to it, and the next thing that I know, you know what I'm saying, is midnight. So I didn't even notice, despite me typing in all of the titles, 42, 43, 44, all the way up to it. It really didn't even sink into me that I'm on the 50th episode of Hotep History Live. I'm telling you right now, man, I'm super stoked. I'm super hyped about it. And I want to be able to share this stuff with you because I think it's important. You know what I'm saying? And so, thank you. Thank you guys, man. Thank you. I'm looking up something and I want to be able to make it happen. It's a little laggy over here, but it's all good. It's all good. I wanted to play a little bit more music, man. I'm in a celebratory mood. We at episode 50. Okay? Who would have thought? Except for me. Like, who would have thought we would have made it to episode 50? I mean, I surely did. I didn't have any plans on stopping, any plans on quitting whatsoever. You feel me? Because that's the difference between winners and losers. That's it. That's the only difference between winners and losers is motherfucker continuing to go versus somebody who like, nah, I'm going to quit. I'm going to bow out. I'm going to, accept defeat. That's the only difference. That's the only difference, and that's why we here. I'm thinking about adding another camera. I talked about that before. Just looking how I'm going to situate it, where I'm going to put it. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about growth. I'm thinking about development. I'm thinking about expansion. I'm thinking about, all of these different things that come along with building this brand. I love this. And so, yeah, like I'm super lit right now, man. I'm super lit. And so, yeah, thank you guys, man, for being around, man, and tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Come on, there we go. Come on. Free the wave, first of all. Free Max B.
Shots in and out.
Yeah.
Until Max B free.
One
for the wave, man. One for the wave. It's the 50th episode. Come on, let's tap in.
Got my bitch, she shotgun, a piece of in the cola. While she play a position in the mirror, watching them rollers, and I'm smoking the potent, dry the roaster like it's stolen. Hold the road to the riches, if you wonder where I'm going, I make a fortune.
It's gonna happen, I know. Yeah. Now we turning up. I don't care. I do not care. We turning up. Listen here. It's episode 50. It's episode 50. You understand? I'm hyped tonight. I'm celebrating tonight. Listen, man, we done came a long way, Jack. We done came a long way. Go back to episode 1 and see how far we've come. You understand? I'm super hyped. Oh, so while we're here, make sure you're subscribing to all of the things. Patreon, what is that? Kick, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and as you can see, we got the QR code over here. Okay, shout out to Black Guns Matter. Shout out to my brother Maj Ray. Scan the QR code, tap in with Black Guns Matter. Okay, great things are happening over there. Shout out to him. We're gonna have more QR codes coming for you guys to be able to, rock with the businesses and partnerships that I rock with. Again, here, shout out to my man Rashad and my sister Kenya on the Nature of Things podcast. You feel me? Shout out to everybody that rock with me. I am extremely, extremely lit tonight. I'm extremely, just full of celebratory energy. You feel me? So if you guys are feeling good, we made it another week. Okay? Celebrate with me tonight. Celebrate with me tonight. We're going to get into the festivities. We're going to get into the content and all of that other stuff. But, yo, listen, man. I want to be able to just celebrate. Because I ain't going to lie, man. 50 episodes. Especially with the amount of hours that I be putting in on each stream and stuff like that. And I understand. There's streamers out there doing 8-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour streams, 24-hour streams. You understand? However, me and my schedule and the way I give it up and all of that other stuff, dropping these several hour streams, 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes even 5 hours, and we've gotten to episode 50, man, I'm hype. I have left so much, because you know, the historian in me, this is all just publications as far as I'm concerned. Things that people 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now be able to tap into and be able to listen to. So listen, man, if you're listening in the future, if you're listening in the year 2100, if you're listening or watching in the year of 2036 or 2045 or 2070, listen, man, I did it. I did it for y'all, okay? I'm doing it for y'all. We are lit tonight, you understand? So shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. I'm super hyped, man. I'm super hyped. You guys have no idea. I'm so happy that we've gotten here. And I just want more of it. I just want more and more of it. That's it. That's all it is, man. So shout out to episode 50. Shout out to episode 50 because Lord knows, man, as small as it is, it's big. Telling you, in the grand scheme of things, because I plan on doing this for a very, 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 very long time, that yes, episode 50 is essentially just a drop in a bucket. But when you think about how you got to fill that bucket up, every drop counts. You understand? Every drop counts. So I'm happy that we got here, man. I'm happy that we got here. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Cannon. We got a whole bunch to celebrate tonight. Let's get into it.
And now for our feature presentation.
Come on. Listen. I want y'all to roll something up.
The story starts like this.
I want you to pour something up.
It's been in the making.
I want you to celebrate with me.
Don Cannon,
Just to go out again, so
Smokey
we
Robinson, yeah, we
y'all rocking
here
with me
now.
tonight. However it go, we here. Fire emojis in the chat. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Come on, man.
I got keys coming from overseas. Ignition, foreign exchange, lane switching. Talk the same shit. I said different, that's the difference. Them niggas pussy.
Come on, man.
I got keys coming from overseas.
Smoke one for your boy, man.
Ignition,
Smoke
foreign
one for
exchange,
your
lane
Hotep.
switching. Talk the
That's
same
what we
shit.
doing.
I said different, that's the difference. Them niggas
I'm
pussy.
happy. We celebrating
I got
tonight. Come on.
keys
Come on in
coming
here.
from overseas.
Bring your asses in here. We lit tonight.
Ignition, foreign exchange, lane switching. Talk the same shit. I said different, that's the difference. Them niggas pussyfootin', they ain't pimpin'. Them bitches just looking and choosing when they see a winner. Smart decision, could've been with throwback jack. Still riding spinners.
Come
Clyde
on.
and Delta, I can help you. Get your weight up. Like the spider raising the barn, the plates up. Writing my raps by my trap, bitch indicator. Ass too round and fat to be a fake one. I'm making adjustments and preparations while the program.
Y'all know this
directors
classic
in my
spitter
city
talk to
are
me.
having a sleepover in the station. Pluck my ashes, refuse to ass kiss. Slow mo in a fast whip, no socks, my Stan Smith. Summertime in the winter, I'm fine, my nigga.
Homeboy just
living, yeah.
Come on.
Coming at you live, fly, wicked. So we can only kick it if you high. Bitches, like they seen it before they recognize. I keep it G to a T, that is I.
Come on.
License my flyness, drop jewels from the sky, that's my crib. Where I live, walk with these Jordan 3s, you'll be alright, sled.
Come on, man.
Peel off like a new era sticker. Out that bitch like a newborn, my nigga.
Come on, man. Come on. Oh, man, I'm feeling so good tonight. I don't care. I don't care how long we go tonight. We lit tonight. You feel me? Listen, Mike, stick with me. You go places, brother. It's a lot of this spitter. A lot of this spitter that people don't know about, man. I got you. I got you, brother. I got you. Believe it. Come on.
Yeah.
We not done. We turning up, like I said. We gonna get to it. We gonna get to the feast of presentation in a minute, but we listening right now.
It's 187 on. Any beat get dropped, spitter stepping
Come on.
on. Step into the booth, welcome to the Terror Dome. You looking at the reason that she never home. It's like the weed smoke make pheromones. Put it in the air, let them know she good to go. Like food in the bag at the driver window. Dude, you a fag, why you looking over here for? Ain't nothing but a real ass nigga.
Come on.
Scale in the building on the ill ass mission. Trailing me trying to see how aircraft living. Hanging in the hangar just chilling. Playing category with some bitches. Chicken cacciatore on the stove in the kitchen. Shorty in the robe, I'm in some suede black sixes. Do-rag flow, nigga, laid back lyrics. One of the trillers to jump in it for a minute. All about business, amazing how I pull it off, always twist it. Spit a David Hasselhoff, Michael Knight, make a Trans Am pop a wheelie like a motorbike. Rhyming to the women, karate kicking Dolomite. In the 72 Nova, rebuilt engine, got the frame shaking like a Polaroid picture. A lot of boys paranoid, worried about splitter, probably choking on their blunts when they saw me on the television. Know they love it, saying they ain't fucking with it.
Come
Line
on.
wide, download, drag and click it. Analyze it over and over, study my delivery, try to copy it and fail miserably. To be conducted in the lab, this is chemistry. Marvel High G from New Orleans and this big dog from Harlem flicked up and made history.
Come on. Shout out the whole 50 for the 50. Take a shot every time you say ancestors. We gonna do that tonight. Come on. The cannon. I don't know. I might accept that shot. I might accept that. You feel me? Come on. I still got more. I don't know how long we gonna be jamming. This YouTube gonna have my ass paused for this because I am not playing around when it comes down to the music tonight. All of the copyright strikes, give it to me, YouTube, because we partying tonight. I'll handle it in the morning. I'll handle it in the morning. You understand? I want to play some music. I want to play some music. Come on. Hey. Hey.
The cannon.
Come on. Yeah. Media.
Yeah, my weed lit. My glass chill, couldn't be concerned less how I hate to feel. Call service, only opportunity for rest. In between destinations, a little hibernation. Life under the scope, I gotta stay fresh.
Come on.
They just wanna see you falling. The only reason the camera's out when you're walking. The only reason they listening when you're talking. Waiting on you to contradict yourself, albeit evict yourself from the house. Like when Beth instigated the situation with Tammy, got David kicked out. Suckers trying to figure my angle. Puzzled by my shuffle, it get wood in the bangles. Adjust my wing runners in the presence of danger. Drop bombs on them niggas from the middle and stay calm, knowing that we belong on the top, but we ain't tripping, cause we'll get there in a minute. Yeah, that's a statement for the mission. Swiss movement so my watch ain't ticking. Who your crew is, them niggas is bums. Throwing parties, don't near bitch come. They all at my heart showing, me and my folks getting drunk. Banging my sounds from the wall mouse. Yeah, life under the stove. Every day is a test.
Come on.
All day go.
We gonna get to it in a minute, y'all. Just a minute. Come on.
They just wanna see you fuck it
It's
all
all
up.
classic shit,
Turn
Mike.
over, make you get a ball up.
All classic
They
shit. This
just
one,
wanna see you fuck
2012.
it all up.
Come on. This old right here.
Yeah.
Oldie but goodie.
Vintage egg chairs hanging from the ceiling. Naked beauties and plush pillows in them. Incense and fresh linen. I spit a complex venom. The real niggas it strengthens. The fake niggas it kills them. And the big homie said that he still got visions of the rooftop. As do I. George Jetson, Jefferson, deluxe apartment in the sky. Niggas can't downplay me, baby, I'm too high.
Come on.
Pilot speak, I crafted these in my policy. A New Orleans nigga, and I'm way in the NYC. We twisting on a mission, and I'm fishing for my nigga Ski Beats.
Hey.
I been in the game, OG. Seen fools blow up and blow it low key.
Come on.
Life under the stove. Every day is a test.
Come on,
all
y'all.
day go. Full speed, full core. Media. press.
Yo, listen, man.
They just
Listen,
wanna see you fuck it all up. Turn over, make it get a ball up. They just wanna see you
I
fuck
am
it all
extremely
up.
appreciative of all of you guys, man. I can't thank y'all enough. I really can't. Hold on. I need another joint. I need another song. Hold on. Can we get to it? Yes. Okay, after this, we might get to it. After this, we might get to it. I know we're about 30 minutes in. I do not care. We at episode 50. Come on. Yes. I can go all day with this shit. You understand? That's so deceptive. Come on. When you won't be those that don't have a towel. 300,000 on it. Land of Lakes. Funnel Cakes. Holy Grace. At the Grand Prix. My move up, put the feet up. They come, what sometimes I lose up. Catch that rapper weed over too, huh? Come on. Mama loop up. Put the back to you a little bit loose up. Come on. That life to the next life. All right. Come on. Rod smoke. All right. All right. Come on. Come on, killer. Hand me my board pad. Think looking down on my younger head. Walking like I talking like I bought it. Have a pilot to this. My cup is in the traffic. Sorry, that my people had the rest to them paper things. I'm with them to it in now. Upper class. Who's class? Yeah, that's what I'm up my head. Jet life is my next life. Rogue is my ex-wife. Come on. Pass her life of duty in the city. Live. I can't even get her if I nigga with her. Come on. Dynamite will have hot cold with it from this PL. I'm chilling. Well, you got the wrong rapper. You picked out the wrong rapper. I'm a mad. Come on. All right. Got smoke all right. Eat blue. Eat cool all right. Come on. Man, all right. We're done jamming. We're done jamming. I know you guys are trying to get to the stuffs. You're trying to get to the topic. I get it. But again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Hotep History Live. Like I said, I am your host with the most, President Hotep Dudes, representing Hotep Nation. How are y'all doing? We made it. We made it again to an end of another week. We're fastly approaching the end of the year. I hope you guys are getting in gear. Okay? January will be here in no time. Set those goals. Start on it now. Do not wait. Okay, to the end of habits for 2026. No, start now. Start now so when 2026 comes in, you off to the races. You dig? You off to the races. That's going to be my prescription to you guys today for the 50th episode. Make sure that you are creating and building upon the habits that you want to carry into 2026, 27, 28, so on and so forth. It's going to serve you. It's going to serve you. So get to it now. Whatever your new diet, new workout regimen, new way of thinking, reading, whatever you was going to get into in 2026 that you keep saying, well, January 1st, start of the year, top of the year, all of that shit you keep saying, make sure that you starting it now. Make sure that you are laying the foundation for that shit right now. You will thank yourself. Your future self will thank you right now for holding it down for you. Okay, that you're creating these habits weeks and weeks and weeks before the 1st of January even gets here. So make sure that you guys are locking into the habits, lifestyles, and all of the things that you actually want to do going into 2026 or starting in 2026. Start now. Don't wait till the 1st of January. Do not. Okay, that's going to be my prescription to you. But listen, we got a great show lined up for you guys. Tonight we are talking about Black American architecture. Okay, architecture. We talk about all of the institutions that are going to be built, that were built in the late 19th century going into the 20th century, largely by black hands. And so, yeah, there's some architects. Okay, you see the tabs up. Okay, we got a few men that we're going to be talking about, and we even have footage of black men building an HBCU. So we're gonna get into all of that. But before, we gotta go through the perusals. So let's get right to the bookmarks. Let's get this show going. You understand? I think it's important. Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So let's get down to it. Let's start at the bottom. Oh, I didn't X out all of the old ones, but it's fine. That's from what was that, Wednesday? Yep. So let's start with this. This wasn't really for you guys. This wasn't necessarily for you guys, but I did want to double down on what I was saying about the sexy Solon girl, Mona Leo, and the grits nigga. When they were, kinda, sorta, on the under, insinuating Pan-Africanism. I just want to let you guys know how the ancestors felt about Pan-Africanism. So this article is from 1927. Okay, as we know, or you may not know, but as we know, W.E.B. Du Bois was a Pan-Africanist. Okay, and so when it comes down to the early 20th century and how they viewed it, this is how the ancestors felt. And they were basically saying that, listen, man, we understand that in Africa there's all of this stuff going on. However, and you guys should be able, just search, Pan-Africanism in my name. You guys be able to check it out. But yeah, this article was about that. We're not going to read the whole article because we have so much to get to. However, I'll read an excerpt from it. So, yeah, I think we can read this one and maybe the next one. And it says, Dr. Du Bois and his Afro-American clan are to be augmented by delegates from far, far away, who will lay their prescriptions for African world disillusionment upon the dissecting table and depart to carry back to their homelands an ethereal panacea for African ills of the world. Basically saying that, Pan-Africanism is basically going to be this one-size-fits-all, remedy, to whatever ills Africa. He says, we frankly admit that we are a bit in the dark as to the real issue of Pan-Africanism. We know, of course, that our forefathers emigrated by both persuasion and force more than 3 centuries ago. And remember, this is in 1927 that they're saying this. So more than 3 centuries would be earlier than 1627. Okay, keep that in mind. 3 centuries ago over the Virginia Capes. And we know that since the Civil War days, the sledding in America has been rough and discouraging. Yet, there are so many things to be done here in America before world problems are approached that we are sincerely inclined to concentrate upon Pan-American affairs. believing that if we can cope with them, we may then be in a better position to carry glad tidings across the seas. This is what the ancestors, the Black American ancestors, felt about Pan-Africanism. Okay, not the Pan-Africanists, because we know how they feel, but as far as the ancestors and their view of Pan-Africanism, this was their response. When they heard about, what Pan-Africanists were standing for in the early 20th century, this was their response. Okay, I want to see if there was something else to be said here. I think that pretty much covers it, but let's see. For instance, we could concentrate upon improving the educational background and facilities which are available to us in the USA. Next, perhaps we can pool our resources and create some industries and business enterprises which would give increased employment and better wages to the folks at home. At the same time, we could foment a competitive atmosphere which would give the white folks a clearer picture of us as producers rather than consumers. Now listen, I post shit and I forget about it. I posted this June 28th. Now, I remember that I posted it. I remember the overall, message of the article, but I did not remember the exact words that they said. And how many times have I said that the ancestors were focused on being independent producers and the enemy wanted our ancestors and then, of course, us to be dependent consumers? And look at what the ancestors are saying. I'll say it again. At the same time, we could foment a competitive atmosphere, which will give the white folks a clearer picture of us as producers rather than consumers. Politically, we might all really get behind capable candidates for public office or stop knifing them when someone else gets behind them. By unity, we could create an atmosphere which might pass an anti-lynching bill with real teeth in it, and we could blacklist and boycott those among us who accept, I don't even know what, eliminatory? I don't know, benefices from the Ku Klux Klan. In other words, and with all due respect to Professor Du Bois and the Pan-African cohorts, we could remember the admonition of the Monroe Doctrine and beware of foreign entanglements. For to us, it looks as though our job will be right here for the next 100 or so years. And look, that's 1927, and we are now in 2025 going into 2026. They were not wrong. The ancestors don't miss, is what I'm saying. You know that I know that. You know that, but I just wanted to make sure that, we double down on that. I don't ever have to what? Lie on the ancestors. I never have to lie on the ancestors. That was too many shots, who. I ain't gonna lie to you, who. That's a lot of shots. I done said ancestors about 7-8 times. That's too many shots. Not gonna hold you, but I just wanted to let y'all know when it came down to that whole Pan-African thing, to let y'all know what the ancestors truly felt about it. You dig me? Let's get into some more. I saw this and was like, what the hell? What the hell, chat? Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm bugging. We're gonna get into it. Let me know.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm studying the unseen body in creative spaces, erasure and exposure of the queer.
Hey, I'm Nina, and I studied the arts, education, and social justice.
I'm Joyce. I studied decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics, and resistance.
I'm Victoria, and I studied remembering or forgetting, navigating international conflict through collective memory.
Hi, I'm Kira, and I studied textiles and environmental justice.
Hi, I'm Nunyala. I'm studying living artfully, art as ritual therapy, and pathways of decoloniality.
I'm Naomi, and I'm studying Black political economy.
I'm Natalie, and I'm studying fashion history and gender studies.
My name is Marie, and my concentration is the radical disruption for survival, development in sub-Saharan Africa, and social anthropology.
Hi, I'm Ava, and I study woman, fugitive family, relationships, and identity, the transformative Black woman.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm studying the unseen body in creative spaces, erasure and exposure of the queer.
Hey,
Okay, all right. So y'all already know what the fuck I'm thinking. I don't even gotta, y'all sense it already. Y'all know exactly what I'm about to say. That was a short video. Very short video. It's a clip. This is not indicative of all of the graduates. You dig? But as far as the people in this video, they were studying absolute bullshit. Okay? I'm not gonna hold you. Every single last one of the things that they graduated with, or whatever degrees they have, it was all of it was complete bullshit. And this is what the ancestors were talking about. This is what Booker T. Washington was talking about. You see, How the ancestors don't miss. So when it came down to what Booker T. Washington was saying, you need to be able to have viable skills in this world to be able to make it. Okay? You gotta have viable skills. And so on the other side of that argument, Du Bois again, basically talking about higher education. We got to get into these colleges, college. Higher education. That's all motherfuckers wanted, right? And then look, 100 years later, this is what we're dealing with when it comes to our academics. This is what the our graduates are coming home with. So imagine, again, like I told Rashad, shout out to my boy Rashad, if you were a sharecropper and you had 12 kids and you saved up for years, making sure that you can afford to send your oldest boy or your oldest daughter to school. You feel me? Because it ain't cheap, especially on a sharecropper salary. Okay? You out there busting your hump every day, sweating in the fields every day, getting that money up to make sure you can send your baby boy or your baby girl, your oldest, to college. So you working their whole life from 0 to 18. You cooking. You feel me? You working for damn near 20 years just to be able to send them to school. And then thinking that you're sending them to school to become a doctor, a lawyer, a financier, a mechanic, a mechanical engineer or something like that. Something that's actually going to be able to bring home, some type of value to the household, to the community, to them, obviously, as the person with the degree. They coming home with arts education and social justice. Man, we can't eat that. We can't build off of that. What else did they do? We don't even got to play the audio. I just want to read the captions again. What was the next one? Joyce, she's studying decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics of resistance. What? I spent 50 grand, 40 grand, 30 grand, 70 grand for you to study decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics of resistance? What? Hold on. And remembering or forgetting, navigating international conflict or collective memory. What? What is even that? What is that? What are we doing? That's insane to me. This is insanity. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever, G. Hold on. Let's get to it. Because this is insane. What else we got here? And I studied textiles and environmental justice. What? Okay, textiles, you almost had me. You almost had me at textiles. Like I can, okay, textiles. But then environmental justice. What? Insane. She's studying living artfully. Art as ritual, therapy, and pathway to decoloniality? What? Gang, tell me the value in these degrees, please. Call me crazy. Please call me out on how ridiculous I'm sounding. I want to know. Naomi is studying black political economy. Okay, black political economy. I don't know what necessarily that is. But the word economy is in it, so maybe something transferable can be, extracted out of that. Natalie, she's studying fashion history and gender studies. Please, spare me. Marie, her concentration is the politics of global economies, radical disruption for survival, and what? And development in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, maybe that's going to help her because it seems like she may have roots in Africa, immediate roots in Africa and all of that. So maybe, whatever, in social anthropology. And then she says she's studying unwoman, fugitive family relationships. What the hell is that? Fugitive family relationships? Is she talking about like incarcerated people? Or like people on the run from the law, like fugitive family relationships and identity. Yeah, and then the imagination, creation, and transformative black woman. I don't even if that is anyway. The that's crazy. I don't want to have her looking like this on the stream. There we go. Damn. All right, we'll just keep it like that. I ain't want to have her looking too crazy. You're already studying what she's studying. That's crazy enough. I ain't want to have her looking crazy. But listen, man. College isn't a scam. But college will allow you to scam yourself. Okay? They will allow you to scam yourself. We have a bunch of bullshit classes that if you want, you can pay for. We do offer some bullshit. And if you want it, we got it for you. And that's what I think has happened here. There was a very little intentionality when it comes to pursuing this education. And I think that they learned all of this while they were in school. They didn't go to the school looking to, study this stuff. But once they got there, they saw that they could. I hope, at the very least, if they went in there with the mind to have these types of, degrees or whatever, God bless. But I truly don't believe that was the off the dribble, sentiment. I think like many kids, they went to those college campuses and in search of what they wanted to do in life, as opposed to having a plan for what they wanted to do in life. And when it comes down to all of these useless degrees, and I'm not. These degrees are largely useless. Outside of the circles in which you'll have somebody recording you and being like, "Oh, brag about your degree." Like, I didn't hear a single degree that's going to have transferable skills in any type of industry in America. None. I don't see where any of this is going to be, applicable, or where they could be able to, let alone get a job, but build a business. I don't even know. You feel me? It sounds like they majored in novel dramas. Like they majored in like stories. They majored in, ideological, fixations, things that they believe, but nothing that they can actually use. You can believe all of this stuff you want, fugitive families, and you can think about, the decolonial relationship and social injustice and shit like that. But if you are actually trying to like cause change when it comes to the law, you got to become a lawyer. Like, if you want to, make changes in economies, you got to be an economist. Like, you have to go into the field. You can't just base your professionalism on how you view the world. No, the world is what it is. The world runs on what it runs on. There'll never be a time where the world is going to run on being an unwoman, whatever the hell that is. There's no point in the world, or no point in this country, where the things that you guys are acquiring in school is going to be used for anything viable in this society. Okay? No structures are going to be built. No communities are going to be built. Nothing concrete is about to be established based upon these studies. And I can only imagine what the young men who are acquiring equally as useless degrees are studying. Because I know it's not just the women. You dig? I do think that because of society right now, it's going to be an abundance. It's going to be, predominantly women. But I know men are going into school and acquiring a bunch of useless degrees too. But going back to my original point, this is exactly what Booker T. Washington was saying. It's like, if we overcorrect on the other side, thinking that, because slavery was manual labor / menial labor, we need to abandon it altogether and pursue, all of this higher education. This is what it's going to turn into. This is what it was going to turn into. And so I understand that people who look at Booker T. Washington as this accommodationist who was short-sighted and was worrying about his relationships with white people and all this other nonsense that they put on his body, all of this other smut that they put on him, you feel me? I understood him. And this is why studying the ancestors is so important, because when you understand where they're coming from, a lot of this shit makes sense in the contemporary sense. I'm trying to tell you, I knew that Booker T. Washington saw this. just based upon what he saw back then 100 years ago. Well, he more than 100 years ago because he died in 1915. So more than 100 years ago, he started to see these quote-unquote intellectuals or these college graduates coming home with no type of real skills. You've learned French or you learned Latin, but you didn't even take it further to become a lawyer. You didn't take it further to become a teacher or anything like that. This is a skill that you have. You focused on art instead of actual skills. And he saw that back in the 1910s. You feel me? He saw that in the late 19th century, the 1890s, and you getting bullshit degrees. So, again, Booker T was right about all of this shit. Because Book, I ain't gonna lie to you, Book. This is me talking to you, Book. Listen, you were right about damn near everything. But I don't even know if you could have predicted how bad it was gonna get. Because they in here studying bullshit, G. I'm talking about they studying absolute nothing. This is nothing. This is a big nothing burger. 4 years serving and eating nothing burgers. Had to pay for the nothing burgers too. That's crazy. Tens of thousands of dollars for nothing burgers. Incredible. So God bless them. So I seen this, right? I seen this page on my timeline. I don't know who follows it or how it got on my timeline, but apparently October is Italian Heritage Month. And I happened upon this page, Growing Up Italian, and they were basically just talking about their history in America. Okay? And we don't necessarily even have to play it, but I think it's pretty cool.
Day 18 of Italian American Heritage Month. People often say when Italians came to America like it was one big moment. But the truth is there were generations of arrivals and each one came for a different reason. Like the Great Wave from 1880 to around 1920. This is the big one. Over 4 million Italians, mostly from Sicily and southern Italy, came to the US. Italy had just gone through unification and southern families were crushed on high taxes, no land ownership, political instability, and famine. They went to America not because they needed to, but because they had to. Now let's talk about the generation between the wars in the 1920s to the 1940s. By the 1920s, the United States passed strict immigration laws, like the Immigration Act of 1924, basically shutting the door for Southern and Eastern Europeans. That's the generation where they had to prove their loyalty to the country. They had to act American. That's why many of them started speaking just English at home. Now let's talk about the generation after World War II. That's around the 40s to the 70s. After World War II, many Italians came over again, this time to rebuild their lives after the devastation in Italy. Southern regions were hit hard economically. This is the generation that had family already here, so they decided to join them. This is the generation of like the Masons, the tradesmen, and small business owners. Now let's talk about modern immigration from the 1980s to about present day. Today, Italians immigrating to America aren't necessarily escaping poverty. They're often students, professors, entrepreneurs, coming to study, work, or create. It's a very different wave, but part of the same story. It's about people chasing the opportunity while carrying their heritage with them. Our history isn't just one single moment, it's generations of moments. From the early explorers like Amerigo Vespucci or Giovanni da Verrazzano, from the laborers to the dreamers, and each one carrying a piece of Italy and building something new here. That's why the Italian American story is so layered, so powerful, and still being written.
For sure. So, listen, man, shout out to the Italians, right? And I wanted you guys to see that, for one, just to show you that there are, people out there who have, pride in where they come from or pride in who they come from as well. And also to show just how lit you are as a Black American. It's not even the shit on Italian Americans or Italian immigrants or Italy or anything like that. Because there's certain parts of a lot of cultures that I appreciate and stuff like that. And growing up, especially being a New Yorker and shit like that, like I've interfaced with Italians, gone from New York to New England, trust and believe. Like I've interfaced and interacted with Italians, pretty much my entire, upbringing and shit like that. So it's cool. But he said something very interesting where he said that they didn't want to come here. They needed to come here, something like that. Basically, like it was no other way. There was no other alternative, none of that stuff. They had to come here. Talking about the 1880s going into the 1920s, I want to say, or 1910s or something. So that first wave of people, right? So he goes through the timeline of, Italian immigrants. You hear the pride that he has in speaking about it. You hear all of the different things that he's bringing up. And again, he's been doing this since him and his men have been doing this since the top of October. Apparently, this is their month, and they've been holding it down for their people, for the Italians in America and in Italy. But it's an American holiday, so they're proud of their heritage. They're proud of their history. And we all know that Italians have a mixed history in this country and all of that. They weren't even considered white when they first got here, all of this different stuff. And I understand that people are going to be like, oh, they gained white privilege and all of that other stuff in the 20th century and all of that. Heard you, understand it, granted. However, as you can see, despite all of that, there's a level of pride. There's a level of being able to, be proud of where they come from, despite whatever negativity, despite the stereotypes and all this other stuff. Because a lot of Italians don't really like the fact that their culture has been, pretty much reduced to mob and mafia movies and stuff like that. They talk about it all of the time. Even in this series, I watched a few of them. They talked about this stuff, and it was like, I understand that you guys mainly know us to be, mob movies, Goodfellas, Godfather, and, all of that other stuff. But, we were Masons. We were entrepreneurs. We were, all of these different things. And so I said all of that to say, basically, when it comes down to Hotep history, this is all I'm doing. I'm not sitting here denying whatever hell the ancestors went through. If anything, I acknowledge the hell, and that is the reason why I am as proud as I am of the ancestors and what Black American history is, because we contributed so much, and they just got here. In comparison, 1880s is yesterday in the context of history. We just read an article from 1927 that talked about 3 centuries previous to that article that the ancestors have been here. 3 centuries, 300 years. 300 years. So when it comes down to Black American historical pride, you should have all of the pride. You should have all of the confidence, all of that grandiose, that feeling of like, I can do anything in this world based upon what my ancestors before me were able to accomplish. And I commend this page, or these young men who are highlighting their heritage and highlighting their ethnicity and highlighting their background and highlighting all of that other stuff. They're proud children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren of immigrants. They're not even native to this land. Black Americans are essentially native to this land in comparison to other lineages in this country. I told you guys in the space, over 90% of white Americans, they come from immigrant stock. That doesn't stop them from being proud Americans, despite coming from France and Germany and Italy and Ukraine and all of the other, parts of Europe and stuff like that. They come over here and stick their flag, in the sand. And so they got the Italy flag and the American flag, waving in front of their house. I've lived in Philly for 10 years. Trust and believe. Again, it's just a continuation of the relationships or the interfacings that I've had with relationships. Because I don't really, with Italians, because I don't have personal relationships with any Italians, but I've been around. I went to South Philly before. Wall-to-wall Italians. And, they have their own cultural enclaves and stuff like that. They got their own delis and own businesses and all of that other stuff. They've made a life for themselves over the past, century and some change. You feel me? So there's no way that Italian Americans are proud that they are, who they are, where they are, and, where they come from and all this other stuff. And then Black Americans shouldn't have that same pride. And I'm not comparing the two, but I just found it very interesting. You feel me? I found it very interesting when it comes down to even them coming here. Yeah, we're not ashamed at all. We were escaping, as he says, families escaping poverty and famine. They said workers who built cities. You feel me? Who built cities. You have all of these different white dudes who get upset when Black Americans say that Black Americans built this country. But this Italian American is like, my ancestors built cities. You feel me? It's all about the pride that you have. It's all about how you're going to feel about your ancestors. They don't walk around thinking, badly about their ancestors. They don't look at them as a bunch of people fleeing where they came from in a negative way. Like, nah, we left one spot and made a pop in another spot based upon the acceptance of this country. And from that point on, we've been able to rock out. And there's all of this pride that come along with it. And that's what I want continuously, permanently to happen in Black America. These people just got here in 1880. As far as you are concerned, as far as the historical context of this country, you have been, that's just yesterday. 1880, fam. We talking 100 years after this country became a country. 100 years after. You feel me? This country was a country for a century before Italian immigrants got here. It was 100 years old already, or over 100 years old. And they still feel connected to this land. They still feel entitled to this land. They still, created what they created. So why wouldn't you? When you got all of these different people talking about you don't know where you come from and all of the other nonsense, it's like, yo, dog, are you serious? I know exactly where I come from. Here. You dig? So keep that in mind as a Black American. Okay? Keep that in mind. You should always have pride in where your ancestors and what your ancestors and how your ancestors did things. That's just how it's supposed to be. Not only do you owe it to them, you owe it to yourself to walk around with that on your shoulders and walk around with that in your heart. You should be absolutely proud of where you come from. For sure. So I just wanted to give y'all, just that little bit. What else we got on the docket here? We speeding through them tonight. All right. So let's get into some architecture, huh? Let's get into some architecture. If you've been here before, if you've been in every episode, okay, then you've definitely watched this video. If you've been following me for a while, you know that this is something I talked about. Before I got banned, I talked about this. Soul City, North Carolina. Funny enough, the descendant of the person that I made this video about actually hit me up and told me about it. Because before it was a video, it was a thread on my old page. And they read the thread and they was like, yo, this is such an accurate depiction of the history. I wanted to say that she was the niece of the original guy that I was talking about. And she thanked me for, talking about Soul City, because who's talking about Soul City? Despite it being some great history, nobody's really talking about it. So you know me, that's what I do. We bring old stories that people have forgotten, not hidden, but people have forgotten, okay, back to life. That's what it's all about. So let's learn about Soul City. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. If you've seen it before, you're going to see it again. Soul City.
What's shaking, everybody? President Hotep Dubes here, and today we're going to be talking about Soul City, North Carolina. Now, this story starts with lawyer, World War II veteran, and civil rights activist Floyd B. McKissick. In the 1960s, Floyd was an extremely active and major figure in the civil rights movement. He walked with Martin Luther King during the protests, he was the head of CORE, and won cases as a civil rights lawyer. In 1968, Floyd, along with architect Harvey B. Gantt, began planning his town, Soul City. Floyd got the idea helping rebuild French villages during the aftermath of World War II. He figured if Europeans can rebuild cities, there's no reason why Black Americans couldn't build new ones from scratch. He chose 5,000 acres of former slave plantation land. The city was proposed to contain 3 villages, housing 18,000 residents by 1989, 24,000 jobs, and then over 50,000 residents by the year 2000. City planners named streets after Black American heroes like Nat Turner Street, Frederick Douglass Street, and Sojourner Truth Trail. He proposed the idea to then President Lyndon B. Johnson, but outside of just some conversation, nothing was really done. So, Floyd became a Republican and supported Richard Nixon, who approved the project. In 1972, Floyd secured $14 million from the Housing and Urban Development Department in exchange for support of Nixon. The state of North Carolina chipped in $1.7 million, while an additional $1 million came from private donors.
So, we see, of course, examples of the ancestors again and again when it comes down to strategy, political strategy, Okay, so Lyndon B. Johnson, yo, I got an idea. I want to, build my own town for Black Americans and da 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 da. Johnson is like, oh yeah, for sure, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We'll play it by ear, da 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 da. McKissick was like, I heard you, and was like, yo, Nixon, talk to me, baby. What you got for me? And Nixon was like, yo, son, listen, if you support me, you know what I'm saying, we can have equal exchange, no robbery. I could pull some strings. I'm going to be the president. That's exactly what happened. He was able to get some government funds, get some money from the state, and get an additional $1 million from private donors. This is how you play politics. I be trying to tell y'all this. Stop trying to befriend these political parties, fam. They're here to be conduits and intermediaries and mediums for your progress, your political progress. Okay? I tell y'all this all of the time. Stop being married to one party or the other. And every single time that we have an example of a Black American elder or ancestor doing that very thing, you see success. You see success. So again, it's validated, stamped by the ancestors in their works. It's not just me being some type of Democrat hater or Republican hater. No, I am a results lover. I am a solution lover. That's what it's all about. Because if he would have just left it up to like, yo, Democrat, blue, no matter who knows if it would have been pushed? You know what I'm saying? Who knows if it would have been pushed through? But nah, I gotta play the game. Or one party ain't really jacking it, or one politician ain't jacking it on one side of the aisle. Let me see what the other side of the aisle has to say about my same proposition. Let's see this and compare the two. Because let's just say Nixon responded even worse than Johnson did. It's like, okay, one guy, he's kind of entertained it, but wasn't really, apt to do it. The other guy, even less energy. I'm going to go with the first guy. Like, it's all about weighing your options. Black Americans, by and large, stopped weighing their options. Everything was it was like cliques. It was like, it was about the group instead of the individual when it came down to the politicians. McKissick, he played the game right, and he got exactly what he needed.
After being funded, Floyd started on the town's development. However, Floyd and his ambitious project had haters. After Nixon was forced to resign in 1974 because of the Watergate scandal, Soul City fell under great scrutiny. Republican Senator Jesse Helms made a promise to Floyd that he was going to shut Soul City down. Local newspaper, the News and Observer, wrote scathing articles about Soul City and accused Floyd of corruption, nepotism, and mismanaging government funds.
Yo, just a little note. I know I've probably said it before. As somebody who lived in Raleigh for a number of years and read the News and Observer, I did not know how racist the News and Observer has been historically. If you guys are in North Carolina or in Raleigh or read the News and Observer, I want y'all to know, son, some of the early articles of the News and Observer was nasty towards Black Americans. Nasty. Some of the worst articles you could read about Black Americans. Every single time somebody in North Carolina, somebody Black in North Carolina made a simple mistake, though the smallest mistakes to the worst crimes, the News and Observer were going to let you know about how terrible Black Americans were. And they were able to just stay in business. The News and Observer is still pumping out copies of their newspaper to this day. I read articles of the News and Observer out of North Carolina, and I'm telling you, when y'all go to the archives, just look at the News and Observer and type in Negro. That's it. All you gotta do is find the News and Observer, type in the keyword Negro, and just read exactly how the News and Observer felt about Black Americans in North Carolina. Insane. So to see him being Floyd McKissick being slandered in the newspaper, in the News and Observer, is not surprising whatsoever. Not surprising whatsoever, yo. Like, it was absolutely insane. My man Rashad in the chat, we at episode 50, Rashad. The big 5-0. You feel me? Fist in the air for 50.
Senator Helms. Helms, along with Senator L.H. Fountain, pushed for an audit of Soul City. With Soul City,
boom. I want you to know. So we had Jesse Helms, and then we had L. Fountain, Republican and a Democrat. Which is the reason why I be telling y'all to stop being. It's another reason why I tell you not to be married to one political party or the other, because both have the tendency to fuck you over. That Republican was like, yo, if it's the last thing I do, McKissick, you will fail. And then the Democrat on the other side of the aisle, these people are supposed to be politically and diametrically opposed, but they weren't. They came together to shut down some black shit. Shut down a black town. They was like, yo, I know we got our issues, Republican versus Democrat, but we gonna come together. We gonna come together to shut Soul City down.
City under so much scrutiny, development of the town halted. Black business owners and residents alike were reluctant to move in. After an entire year of investigation, Floyd was cleared of all wrongdoing, but the damage had already been done and the project never came to fruition.
So listen, when it comes down to this stuff, yo, that's the reason why I be trying to tell y'all. Yes, work with what you can. I don't have any, what he should have did type isms for Floyd, because it was largely due to Watergate. That wasn't his fault. Watergate happened. He gets tied up in it because that's the horse that he backed. He backed the person that backed him in his project. Lyndon B. Johnson didn't. Nixon did. You feel me? And so, this is the horse that I'm backing for this shit. I can't stop supporting, son. You feel me? Then boom, Watergate happened. So anything that Nixon had, his hands in, or anything that Nixon was involved with, we shutting that down. Because that may be a scandal, that may be a potential scam, and we already have politicians on the ground on both sides of the aisle. Republican and Democrat and Republican being like, oh, nah, we don't want Soul City to actually come to fruition. Both sides of the aisle. So you can't say, oh, it was the racist Democrats and not acknowledge the Republicans. And you can't say, oh, it was the racist Republicans and not acknowledge the Democrats. You had a corrupt Republican that was in office, a Republican senator that was vowed to McKissick, vowed to Floyd, like, I'm going to ruin you. And then you had a Democrat senator that being like, yo, yeah, I'm with him. Me and him about to do whatever we can. And so due to all of this negative press, due to all of this, people was like apprehensive, like, yo, son, I don't want to rock with this. It could mean ruin. I don't want to put my money behind something. I don't want to uproot my family and move over to Soul City and this shit falls and crumbles and collapses. So they have all of that apprehension, doubt, and uncertainty. And he's under mad scrutiny. He's going on trial. He's in court. He's doing all of this stuff to defend his name and defend Soul City. So yeah, people are sitting there like, yo, dog, like, are you a scammer? Is this real? Is this a scam? Like, they're unsure. Rightfully so. You can't be mad at the general public. Like, your name is being dragged through the mud. You feel me? Your abilities is being dragged through the mud. So yeah, people was like, yo, son, nah, I'm cool, fam. I know I told you I was going to bring my barbershop. I was going to bring, this business or that, but you got a lot of shit going on. You got a lot of stink on you right now. And I'm not going to uproot my successful business in wherever I'm at in North Carolina, but come on over to where you at, because this could be financial. This could ruin me financially. You feel me? So everybody's apprehensive on the private side. And then on the public side, you got a court case, a very public court case. And so thank God that Floyd came out clean, cleared of all charges, no nepotism, no mismanagement of funds, passed with flying colors. But by that time, we off it. This was a year past. Like, nah, bro, like all of that initial support, you feel me, is a lot of it is gone. And to be able to continue the project, you would need at the very least 25 to 50% of the support that you had to even think about keeping it going. But a lot of people got like, not even no beef with you, Floyd, but it's like, nah, fam, it's too tricky. It's too tricky. Anything can happen. I'm a little worried. So unfortunately, Soul City didn't come all the way to fruition, but I can't lie, yo. the way it worked out as far as public opinion. I understand public opinion. So while he had the choice to give up or not, and that's his choice, I'm not about to sit here and act like, yo, you openly being like, yo, Nixon, that's my guy. He's behind Soul City, the HUD, you know what I'm saying? And all of that other shit is behind me. I got I got 1.7 million from North Carolina, another million from donors. Like, all of this is grassroots. All of this is crowdfunded. All of this is like, I just have the know-how and the skill. I don't have the money. And to be able to create another, crowdfunding campaign off the back of the Watergate scandal and all that. Because now, who was after Nixon when after he left office because of Watergate? Who came after him? So whoever was after Nixon, now you got to see if you could cozy up to him and work out a deal with him and get additional funding. Like, it's a lot. I'm not saying that it's impossible. You feel me? But it's not unreasonable or shocking to me that it didn't go anywhere after all of that. After you got 2 senators on your back from both sides of the aisle, which means it's going to be even harder to get if you were going to move on, right? Past Nixon, you still got to remember, like, Congress. You got to remember all of the other people. It's not just, me and the president. Like, nah, you're not about to get an executive order passed to give you money. You got to have all of this stuff go through all of the checks and balances of Congress and shit like that. Like, a lot of them people are going to be those same people like Helms and Fountain being like, oh, hell no. We tried to stop this shit when it was under Nixon. We definitely not about to pick this shit back up. We disagree with Nixon when he did it. So the answer is no. Ford was after Nixon. And I don't know what Ford felt like, how Ford, looked at Soul City and all of that other stuff. You feel me? So it was a series of events that even got Floyd to the point to where he was even breaking ground and building stuff and all this other stuff. And it's like, to bounce back from that after the scandal, after going to court, after clearing your name, not impossible, but also I understand if it didn't work out. So that's going to be a little treat. We didn't get into the architects just yet, but I wanted to talk about that. Now, let's get into the architects. We're going to start off with Vertner Woodson Tandy. Let's get into it. So it says here, Madam C.J. Walker's mansion, Villa Luaro, was designed and built by Tuskegee graduate Vertner Woodson Tandy in 1916. The construction cost was $250,000 or $4.5 million adjusted for inflation, and took 2 years to build. Now, if you are, a part of Hotepistan, a part of Hotep Nation, then you know exactly who Tandy looks like. Shout out to my brother Cannon. Not gonna hold you. This is Cannon. If Cannon didn't have a beard, this is exactly what he would look like. Shout out to my brother Cannon, having a doppelganger from the early 20th century. I even said that he did. Look at me down here. It says, son, low-key look like Cannon Hotep. And tell me I'm lying. Let's go to Cannon page real quick. We'll get back to my bookmarks in a second. Tell me I'm lying. Look at him. Look at my brother, son. Look at my brother. Hold on. Let's enlarge the Avi on him. You gonna tell me that Tandy don't look like Cannon? Just take the beard off. Keep the glasses, obviously. They're damn near identical. Make sure you follow my brother Cannon, too. Make sure you follow him. Cannon Hotep on Twitter. You feel me? That's my guy. That's my brother right there. But yeah, he looked just like Cannon. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the bookmarks. But let's go through the pictures. Let's look at the Villa Luaro. Look at this. He built this. Black man. Look at this, yo. Black man designed this. Built this. Got his team down here too. I'm pretty sure some other races and stuff involved with the construction. Built this mansion, and look at this. Black man is behind this. Look at all of the people here. That should tell you like the scale of how big this crib was. It was about 100 people. Little under over 100 people right here. And look how much space. And let's see. Yeah, it's mad retweets. But I wish I was able to show y'all the well, let me say I wish I could show y'all. I could just show y'all Villa Lawaro. Let me show y'all what it looked like today. This is what it looks like today. Like, this house was huge, fam. This house was huge. Look at this. But look, this is how it looked back then. That's the same building, same backyard. And look how many people this could fit. Like, that's when you add the people to it, it really shows the scale. It really shows the scale of like how big this crib was, fam. Yeah. Hold on. I want to get back to that picture. Now, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Look at this, yo. Can we zoom in? Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's get to it. Look at this, yo. Cliff, you see this, Cliff? Cliff in the building? Look at this, bro. I'm gonna need something like this for Hotepistan. But yeah, we didn't look at how many people came over to Madam CJ Walker's crib. Beautiful crib. You feel me? And so this is what that same area looks like today. Look at this. So you see our architects, like our architecture, it